Hello, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Crypto Wolf back again, and real quick, we're just gonna go over some different wallets because if you're new here, if you're new to crypto, things like that, you're probably wondering. Everybody says if you don't own your key, or if you don't hold your keys, you don't own your crypto. And so, how do you own your keys? Where do you put it? Where do you keep it? How do you keep it safe? Particularly when we got all the craziness going on with governments trying to come after transactions and exchanges and even wallets. So it's best that you hold it yourself, especially if you want to be your own bank, which is what it's all about. So we're going to get into it here. Quote of the day is, keep your money in your pocket or bet it on a good horse, or in this case, bet it on a good coin or token. Because, they say it takes money to make money, and it's the absolute truth. So, if you're not really doing it, at least semi-big just yet, you don't want to quit your day job and just jump right into trading, because especially at first you need to fund that activity. So best to have another income stream that you can, throw it on an exchange, throw it in a wallet, use that, start trading with it. And then when you reach a point where you're making enough off of trading that you can afford to pay all your bills and have some, stacked away for rainy days, so to speak, that, God forbid, if you have a horrible a month, even, you can afford to pay your bills for at least a couple months. I would say probably a few months, but that's what we're about to talk about. We're going to say, all right, once you do get that and you're holding long term and things like that, where do you store it? Where do you keep it? Because if you keep it on an exchange, there's a strong possibility that maybe one day you won't be able to access it. And just a quick shout out to the title Bulletproof wallets. If you happen to be a Wu-Tang or a Ghostface fan and you never heard Bulletproof wallets, oh my gosh, you can thank me later. It's an outstanding album. Over here real quick before we look at everything else, just checking up on things. Bitcoin starting to pull up a little bit. Nothing too spectacular going on the chart, but we'll see. We did have this tight red RSI pointed up right here. And, money flow is kind of coming up. VWAP had a strong move to the upside. I actually did open up a long on Ethereum, partly because I had the Bitcoin chart open and I thought it was the Ethereum chart. So I'm like, hey, you know what? We'll see what happens. I mean, we've got this little bit of higher low right here. So I set a stop loss kind of close, just below this bottom right here. So worst case scenario, I'm not too worried about it. We could potentially be down to the bottom of, this little RSI trend downward here. Money flow maybe coming back up a little bit. Again, momentum wave looking a little bit uppish. It's not a divergence. It would have been a lot nicer if it was. I'd be a little bit more confident in it, but I don't know. It's something to do. It was just, I threw it on there. I'm like, well, we'll see what happens. I honestly don't have great expectations or anything. Today was kind of meh. So kind of day. I mean, we did have this little pump over here earlier in the morning. And then we did have like a nice little scalp if you wanted to hit it right there in the middle. But other than that, we came back right back to this range over here. So we're generally bouncing around back in this support and resistance level right there. Nothing too fancy, although we did come almost all the way up to this big old trend line that I had on here. And it's not to say that that line might be 100% accurate. Matter of fact, it's not. But there is the potential that, maybe we bounce off that and come head back down to the bottom one. I know I'd have a lot of people on YouTube, screeching and reading, saying, oh my gosh, we're dumping, it's going down. Is what it is. If it does, we'll trade that too. On the Bitcoin chart over here, had something kind of interesting. come back in a little bit. Look at that. First off, headed right for that intersection. I mean, literally just candles directly over the X marks the spot right there. But as soon as we come up to this ring right here, we got some resistance going. And we're approaching it once again over here. So we'll see what happens out here on the hourly. You know, a little bit of a swoop down on the money flow. But if you look real close like, you can see what happened to my thingy. There it is. You can see we did have a little bit of a uptrend on the money flow between those two and down up here. So potentially some hidden bullish divergence. Maybe we'll find out. I would certainly like to think so. And that's kind of part of the reason that I just threw a trade on there and just going to let it ride. I may even just let it go overnight. I mean, it'd be nice if we just had, you know, a little pullback here and then rocket right up through that little range. Might be wishful thinking, but you never know. I mean, we do have a big old momentum wave dipping down, starting to curl over here. VWAP starting to curve up, and it's even got some nice curvature to the right here as it does come up. RSI's and a general downward direction, which isn't the greatest, but we were kind of splitting as we came down. So it's not super strong, but it is what it is. So let's get talking about wallets. Specifically, Bulletproof wallets. God, that's a great album though. Send a shout out to me if you ever listen to that album. Man, I grew up on that stuff. So, but all right, so I found this real quick before I get into anything potentially useful. I want to throw this out here because I saw it in the process of actually looking for an image for the thumbnail, and I was like, holy crap, that's some cool shit right there. And a crypto wallet in a luxury watch. I am liking that idea. Would I even use it? I mean, if I got one, I would literally have to just throw some crypto on there just so I could be like, yeah, I got my Bitcoin on this shit. But what is it? Favre and Fils to craft an inbuilt crypto cold storage wallet. Swiss watchmaker announced that they will be offering a state-of-the-art proprietary security solution. And if you've never seen, like they have some of these, what are they? I wonder if I can find a picture here in a minute, but they're like metallic, kind of the size of a credit card. And you can use that as like a paper wallet, a cold storage wallet. And so that way it's like you have your, like your address etched into it. That's kind of interesting, but I am very weary of paper wallets. I'll say this because like way back in 2018, and if you don't know, a paper wallet is essentially you have the wallet address that they give you and you print it out and it's literally on a piece of paper. And the only way to access that crypto is to transfer from that wallet to another one using, you know, a wallet. Or in the case of the one that I did back in like 2018, I bought like a bunch of Litecoin and I was using some of it for like purchases and stuff. And then I threw some of it on the native Litecoin wallet. And then I threw a bunch more on a paper wallet. So I was like, okay, you know, just stash it away until God knows when, and we'll find it one day and be happy. Well, I got half of that right. So I did find a bunch of the Litecoin years later on that laptop. And I was like, hey, you know, it went up like 5-6x or something like that. But I never did find the damn paper wallet. To this day, it irks the hell out of me. I mean, it's not like a lot, but it was like, I don't know, 3.5 Litecoin or something like that. So, you know, at the peak, I mean, it was a healthy little few $100, almost up to like $1,000 or something like that. So hopefully we find it floating around one day. So just a heads up, be careful with the paper wallets. If you do, print multiple copies, keep them in safe places. Also, don't keep it where, you know, if somebody breaks into your house and maybe they actually know a thing or two, they might see it and make off with it, but because that is all you have to say that you own that crypto. But coming over here talking about regular software wallets, personally, I like this one, and it is Atomic Wallet. It's got, you know, a whole bunch of different tokens and coins. You know, it's got good ratings. It also has, you know, different stuff where you could get into the dApps things and staking, and I imagine probably airdrops. It's got a swap on it, which I'll probably never use, but you know, it's nice. It's there. It's whatever. It's a, you know, and it looks nice and it's simple to use. I haven't had any problems with it. There was only one time where I was transferring a bunch of Polkadot on there, and there was something up with Polkadot's network, and it took like it gave me a message saying that, like, you know, something's going on and they're updating like the network or the chain or something like that, and that, you know, don't worry, any transactions are going to be there, it's just not going to show up for a minute. And I think I checked like 2-3 days later and it was there, everything was good, so I wasn't too worried about it. But you know how it is when you go and transfer something and it doesn't show up right away and you start freaking out like, oh crap, what did I screw it up? But keep in mind, if you ever do that, just a little tip, go on to like the block explorers or what is it, like something scan, where they have it for every single blockchain, and you can put in your transaction you know, hash number or hash, not value, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Put in the number and you'll show you all the information for that transaction, saying that it successfully went through, it got confirmations and all that good stuff. And you can double check the receiving wallet address to, you know, the one that you were sending it to. And as long as all that matches up, you'll be good. It'll show up eventually. Sometimes, you know, super high traffic, or they're doing like an update or who knows what. So yeah, they also have, you know, the phone app for it, which I didn't bother getting, but you could buy crypto from it. And they have a good list of supported assets, and that's not even the full list. So that was probably the biggest reason that I liked it, because I already have a stupid number of wallets, because it's just going to happen. The more you start branching out into altcoins and stuff like that, you're going to end up having to get some different wallets. And I'll show you some others here too in a second. But that guy there is Atomic Wallet. Again, I very much like the way it looks. They did the dark mode. If you're not doing dark mode nowadays, just like, what's wrong with you? But popping over here, you know, I did a couple of little quick searches for, you know, what some of the popular ones were, and I'm not even necessarily a big fan of their results, but top picks for best crypto wallets of 2022, Coinbase wallet, which I am very skeptical of. Now, I can't say for sure, because there's Coinbase Exchange, which has, you know, your exchange wallet there, and then there's actual Coinbase wallet, which is kind of separate, kind of. And so I'm not 100% sure like how Coinbase is like freezing out like Russian customers and stuff like that. I can't say whether or not they could freeze you out of the Coinbase wallet. Don't know, but I've never even downloaded or tried to use it, because generally speaking, I try to get things away from the centralized exchange. So the fact that it's even affiliated with them, let alone made by them, I just have no desire. But Electrum shows up a lot on some of these top wallet lists, and it is for Bitcoin only, is my understanding. So it's strictly the Bitcoin blockchain. Mycelium is mobile only. I do not know much about that one. Now, Ledger Nano X, best offline crypto wallet. That is a hardware wallet. And let me scooch this out of the way here. That is this guy right here. And it's kind of like, it's a little bit longer than like a normal thumb drive, but it's, you know, it's not a thumb drive. It doesn't have a little USB on it, but it does have a USB port, and it comes with a little cord, and then you plug it into your computer and you kind of get it set up from there. It just has a fairly simplistic black and white little screen on it. But it is arguably the best and most popular storage medium at all, period. And the Ledger Nano X is the newer version. The Nano S is the previous one. Don't mind the prices. That's in Mexican because yeah, because that's where it thinks I am. A little cutaway of it, but it's very nice. It's a little bit tricky, especially if you're a beginner, because you have to like install wallets on there, but it works with its own software on your computer. Let's see. Oh, well, yeah, it works with software on your computer or on your phone, and you use that software to basically do all your management on it. And then you just get little graphics on the actual ledger itself, but then you unplug it, you know, throw the ledger in a safe or a lockbox or something like that, and it is good to go. Various chains that it works with, and then and same thing, you can swap, staking, send and receiving straight from, you know, the wallet app itself. But it does have a very big list of supported assets. Yeah, Ledger Live is what the app is called. Let's see. Let's see, there's the phone app. Not really going to give me a good view of it, huh? Yeah, so there's the mobile version, but I don't think I've used the mobile version. Yeah, 5,500 coins, not to mention, you know, so many different tokens are on the ERC20 network. And you can always just add in that particular like asset address on the ERC20 chain that's on your wallet. So you're not even necessarily strictly limited to just those. But I mean, if you've got, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, different shit coins going all the way out to some of the obscure ones that you're going to get to with 5,500, I mean, props to you, you're a connoisseur. Let's see here. Now, Exodus is very popular for the desktop. I don't think I have that open on any tabs. What the hell is? You make it look like a link and it's not a link. I've definitely heard of Exodus. I even looked into it. Oh, hey, Atomic Wallet. There's that guy. You know, I've looked into Exodus and I chose something else and I don't remember why. I chose Atomic. I also have, oh, well, we're just going to hide that for a minute. I also have Infinity Wallet, which is another big popular one. And it's very similar looking to Atomic, as you can see here. And it does seem like it has some nice features to it, potentially nicer than Atomic itself. And it's also, you know, very popular. A lot of people use it. A lot of people love it. You know, have good stuff to say about it. You could come in here, you can check, you know, all the supported assets on the list. You know, this 150,000 more is basically they're saying anything on ERC20 or a number of these other chains that are supported with it. Swear there is a Pitbull token. Man, I'm gonna have to buy that on principle. Got Reef on there. But the one thing you want to keep in mind is, depending on what coins and tokens you have, you want to make sure that whatever wallet you're looking at can support them, because A, if it doesn't and you try to transfer it there, you're going to have problems. You know, you could potentially lose it or just have it stuck in crypto limbo. But there are a lot of wallets that really don't support a whole lot. And one of those being Metamask, which is basically just, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. It does actually allow you to add phantoms and blockchain along with some other ones. You can add networks. But yeah, it's mainly just Ethereum and BSC, and then just kind of ones that are built off of that a little bit. I imagine I don't know, you could probably add a couple other ones, but I really just haven't cared to. And MetaMask is probably one of the most commonly used or utilized wallets, largely because if you go to places like Uniswap and things like that, you have to connect your MetaMask wallet to the swap. Or if you're using decentralized exchanges, you got to connect your wallet to the exchange. And MetaMask is often like the standard for doing that. And I just got to say, the way they did this little like fox following the cursor is just so incredibly satisfying. But okay, I'm going to stop playing with it. And before I even get any farther, if you're setting up a wallet, absolutely write down multiple times your seed phrase. Don't lose it. Don't give it to anybody. Damn sure don't give it to anybody on the internet. Anybody, like, not even, I wouldn't give it to your friends, like nobody. Worst case, like, throw some in a safe or a lockbox or something like that, and maybe tell your mom about it. Or, if you trust your mom, which I hope you would. But, God forbid something should happen to you or something like that. Make sure, your next of kin or beneficiary knows where it's at, so it's not lost to the world forever. But other than that, multiple times. Like personally, I have this guy here over on Cryptee. I've got a document on there where it is encrypted. It is kind of stored on the cloud, but again, it's one of the better encrypted web applications. And so I keep my seed phrases backed up there just in case, if God forbid, if I got chased out of my damn house and had to book it and sneak off to another country with nothing but my pocket lint, I would still be able to get a hold of it. And I also keep them written down and hidden and all that good stuff. Like when you get the ledger, it will actually come with these little cards, and I think it comes with like 10 of them, and it's got little lines on there for you to write down your seed phrase. So that was very considerate. And whenever you start a wallet, it's going to give you the seed phrase. You're going to have to like repeat it back to it. And, they basically just do like a double check to make sure, and they keep telling you, make sure you write it down, make sure you store it somewhere safe, multiple places. And, yeah, so don't slack, do it. Make sure you got it in a couple different places, because if you lose it, you've lost your crypto. It's not backed up anywhere. The creators and owners of the wallet app itself have no record of it. So if you lose it, it's on you. Personal responsibility. You want freedom? With freedom comes great responsibility. But this is another popular one here, Trust Wallet. I haven't heard too much about it lately, but for a long time, it was, talked about like it was the number one for a bit there. I don't personally have it, but, it's another one. And a lot of these wallets can, start getting into the decentralized apps and stuff like that. But that's another big one there. And again, tells you all the different assets and blockchains they support. I swear some of these lists have grown just since the last time I looked. But yeah, this is another one that supports a lot of them. So it's nice because you can, drop maybe all, if not almost all of your crypto in one place, which makes it nice instead of having a, you know, a shit ton of wallets, which I kind of got stuck doing there a while back. But that's interesting. They got Harmony on here. Harmony is actually one of the ones that I had to do the native wallet. And some of them are just going to be browser extensions, but they're, you know, they're oftentimes they're working on like a desktop app, or some of them are only mobile app. And I got VeChain on here too now, huh? Damn. I've been kind of waiting for Atomic Wallet to get their shit together and add VeChain. Which is why it's actually one of the few mobile wallets I have is the VeChain Thor. Actually, speaking of. So you don't necessarily have to have it anymore, but if you do want, you know, the native wallet for whatever assets, you know, in the case of, let's see, you know, VeChain Thor, all these other little guys that are built off of the VeChain Thor blockchain. You know, they've got their own little native wallet there. Seed phrase. And jumping over is another little list just from Investopedia. I mean, pretty much everybody has these lists of best wallets. I mean, even I saw so like Forbes and even what was it, like Financial Times and all that shit. Honestly, I wouldn't really listen to anybody who is not specifically in the crypto space. Like, I really wouldn't care, but most of them just repeat the same thing anyways. Electrum, Mycelium, Nano. Trezor is the alternative to the Ledger, I think. Yeah. And Trezor Model T. It's another offline cold storage wallet, hardware wallet. You know, supports a whole bunch of different coins, tokens, chains. A little weird looking. But at least from what I know and people that I've talked to, Ledger is probably the more popular one. Now, Exodus is another fairly popular wallet. Oh, speaking of, actually, I went to open a new tab, and there they were advertising on Brave. So I'm like, well, that's ironic. But not a huge list right there. Although they might just be, you know, mentioning the main ones. Typically with wallets, you know, they're working with the various blockchains, and again, you have a ton of stuff built off of Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, and you can add that specific, you know, like wallet to it, just because it accepts, you know, anything over ERC20. Oh, looks like they got VeChain on there too. I may have to come back and consolidate a little bit. It's been a little while since I looked at anything. Let's see here. What else do I have for you? Oh, yeah, there's Exodus. So yeah, that is basically it. I mean, there's, you know, there's more wallets, and again, you can go and grab the native wallet for just about anything. Particularly if, you know, if you want to be a node on the network, or you want to get into mining and all that stuff. That's kind of a whole nother can of worms in and of itself. But hey, look at that. What are we at? We're up 4.5%. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, look at that. Although that's not what I'm on. Just as good. Just as good. What do we got going here? Money flow kind of slow, but to the up. Oh, look at that. Bounced back up and continued. Getting our little triangle. We'll see if that plays out. 9 to 12 on the DBSI. So we are increasing, not up into any outstanding numbers yet, but still not bad. But yeah, not a terribly exciting kind of day, but it's not bad. Oh, and speaking of like native wallets, I've got like the Terra stations, so it's got some Luna on there. That's their native wallet, which I don't know if it still is, but at the time it was only a browser extension. Same with Harmony up here. Like I'm half tempted to open up a wallet, but ain't any a damn business. Here, there's one thing. I could open up Ledger though, because just the Ledger Live doesn't really show anything. Plus, I don't have the actual Ledger plugged in. But this is Ledger Live, so when you get, you know, a Ledger wallet, it'll show you various things. So these are the chains that I installed on the Ledger itself. So I kind of just went through and got things set up. Very first thing, right after taking it out of the package. It's almost like installing apps on it. What do they say? Like accounts. So, you know, I've got the Cosmos, the Polkadot, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, BSC. What do we got here? Discover. Discover our live apps catalog. Rainbow Me. Keep going, keep going. Compound coming soon. Aave coming soon. Alchemy coming soon. And then real simple send. Real simple receive. Buy crypto via Coinify. Not a huge list. Was that Chainlink over ETH? Tether over ETH. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more gas fees on that one. I think Tether's what, natively on the Tron network, and it's usually just $1 per transaction. Got a swap. You know, if you remember seeing the decentralized exchanges video that I did a little bit ago, you know, this should look fairly familiar. You know, not hugely, what's the word? Like, not a ton of assets, but it's basically looking just through the stuff that you have on the ledger. And again, I don't have it plugged in right now, so it's not showing anything, but connect and unlock your device. Oh, yeah, and when you plug it in, and before you like do anything with it, whether it be sending or installing stuff or anything, you put it in, and it's got two little buttons right here, and yep, you can move around through the menu, install app, and then you enter your pin code using these two guys right there, and it'll like just, you know, go up, go down, so you can do like, you know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 or however many. But that is pretty much it. You can go through, do all your settings, accounts. Let's see what's experimental features. Use Tezos.js, Tron Grid, translation testing, developer mode, custom gap limit, connect Bitcoin full node. That's interesting. So yeah, so that's the little app that it comes with, and you do most of your setup and management through. Let's see, are we kind of tapering off a little bit? But I think I'm going to cut it at that. So we went through the wallets. I'll tell you what, we'll just, if you're still hanging out, we'll look at the charts for a hot second. What are we up to? And we pulled back a little bit, 3.7%. Let's see, what's Bitty Boy doing? Potentially a little better. Okay, maybe not. Not percentage-wise, but a little bit of pumpage. Let's see, what's Ripple been doing? I haven't even looked at Ripple in a minute. Pulling back. Is everybody pulling back? You know, if these other coins and tokens are pulling back, you know, it could be that they just started doing it prior to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bitcoin and Ethereum have a little bit more bullish action, so it's taking them a little longer to pull back, but yeah, I mean it's pulling a little bit, but not enough to shake me out of the trade just yet. Cardano. Solana kind of weak. Let's see, nothing too different from the norm. Oh, look at that. Got a little bit of a flag going there over on Rune. Phantom, not too bad. Audio doing a little something. Damn, look at Monero. Man, I had the slightest bullish divergence right there. I mean, it's almost hard to even call it that, but it's like, what do we got? 46.4 to 45.5. But technically it was there. And we did change directions, so money flow coming up. Look at that RSI looking very nice. Very, very nice. Look at this VWAP. Rejected off the zero line multiple times. Man, it's just been hanging out up there for a while now. Almost 3 hours straight. On a 10-minute chart. Fancy. What this kind of equal to? Yeah, just 2.5, but still nice. Let's see. Anybody else doing anything? Meh. A little bit there. Origin again. Oh, that's kind of doing what the hell was that? It's kind of doing looking like what Rune was looking like, but had a bigger pullback in the middle there, that's for sure. Everybody looking red, but looks like we may be erasing that entire dump, just like we've been doing with everything else. Yeah, pumped up, erased it, pumped up, erased it, pumped up. Actually hung out this time. Pull back a little bit, pull back a little more. Never really fully erased this one yet. So that could be a good sign that we're just, you know, getting a little uptrend going compared to all this sideways action. Which, if you remember back from the video that we did at some point in here, I honestly don't remember. I was saying that it looked very much like we might be, you know, rounding this bottom out and maybe coming back up, kind of like we did here. Except this one had that big old dip. That's generally what it kind of looked like. It looked like we were rounding and then, you know, had the opposite dip actually. So rounded here, dipped down, this time dipped up. Maybe it's a bullish sign, but generally speaking, you know, still trending upward. So all good either way. I mean, technically we could still come all the way down to here and be trending upward, but yeah, blood diamond showed up previously. Hopefully doesn't start repeating. You start getting multiple blood diamonds on the 1 hour chart and things tend to dip, kind of like we saw here. Another one continued, another one continued. Had a couple there. Only came out to that little guy right there, so that was good. You know, money flow on the hourly here, it's a little sketchy. Hopefully we're not seeing the curve back down, but you know, we are seeing the momentum waves starting to generally trend down. RSI kind of trending down. So that doesn't bode well. VWAP is on the upside though. So, you know, this momentum wave could be coming back up with a strong possibility of coming back deeper. But more than anything, I'd like to see this money flow come and make a new high so that we can say that, yeah, we're not a nice long stretched out green money flow trend. That would be nice indeed. Kind of hugging around this fan line lately, which is good because it's an upward fan line. So didn't quite make it to that spider line back here, but we didn't quite make it down to that one either. So we shall see. Hopefully it doesn't follow along the curvature of these rings too much. But it does tend to. I mean, you can see, man, we stayed in that channel for a little bit. Kind of went sideways till we got to the second one and then dipped down on that one. I would really like to see it go up this time. Let's see. Crashed through that one. This one pumped straight through it. I mean, that almost isn't even worth talking about right there. This guy just found resistance. So we'll see. All right. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Remember, once again, if you don't hold your keys, you don't own your crypto. These exchanges can do whatever they have to or are being forced to, because in order for them to operate, they have to follow the regulations and things like that, specifically US based ones, and probably with, you know, with other countries wherever they're at too. But you know, if they say, we don't like you and you got to freeze that person's account, then there ain't shit you can do about it. And that crypto is just locked in place. And the point of crypto is to be able to have that financial freedom, to be your own bank. In order to do that, you got to hold your own money. So lock it down, take control of that shit, and make your wallet bulletproof. That's a nice little black sand beach right there, isn't it? That's a sexy picture. But all right, everybody, have a good one. I will see you next time, and let me know what you thought. Peace.